What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a very interesting news show, because we have updates and we do not have updates in a time or a period, a moment where we definitely need to have good updates. It's all over the place, like literally all over the place. It feels like, if you need to believe the media, the club is all over the place. It's struggling. It has no clue. It's completely lost. They thought they could have done certain deals, even though they come across extremely calm. You know, Giuntoli, Elka, when he spoke, extremely calm. But if you watch that next gen Juve game, we had two players on the bench. We had Fagioli and we had Cabal, and two goalkeepers, and then Sekulov and Savona, I think it was. That's it. That's it. You had Atsic injured, but even that, like, he could be playing for the next gen, and you have Miretti injured. All the rest, you told you need to leave, and we are missing so many players right now. We are, and the news is good / not good. It's all over the place. Koopmeiners could be off, apparently. You know, it really could be off, according to Di Marzio. Even though the story makes 0 sense, and it makes, let's say, it makes 0 sense, and it makes about 1% sense at the same time. It's so strange. We have a Galeno update. Even that one gets stranger. And we have a Todibo update, which is actually hilarious. But before we get into it, as always, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's talk about whatever is happening right now. Okay, let's start off with the Koopmeiners one, because Di Marzio broke, quote unquote, put it out there, I think like 20 minutes into the game. He said that if the dream of signing Koopmeiners doesn't come true, Juve are ready to invest that money on Nico Gonzalez. Atalanta doesn't seem willing to let Koopmeiners go. Now, I don't even know where to start. Let's start with the news report. So the news report is that if we cannot get the attacking midfielder we want, we're going to get a winger instead. I don't even know how to describe that. I don't want to hear that right now, because you plan basically all summer to bring Koopmeiners in, and now you're like, you know what, Thiago Motta, forget about that. You're going to get two wingers instead and no Koopmeiners. Just figure it out. That is, if that's actually the case, horrendous planning. Like, I cannot even start where, like, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start to describe that type of planning. I really don't. Like, I would be actually lost for words if I need to explain why we went from an attacking midfielder to signing an extra winger. That's that. Two, it doesn't even make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. It makes no sense, because we were not willing to spend 35, whatever. We were not willing to offer 35 for Adeyemi. It was bonuses, but we're willing to offer that for Nico Gonzalez. When the news is McKennie not in the deal, Fiorentina won cash money. That's it. Even though there's the Arthur news and so on, it makes no sense. The other thing that makes no sense is that Atalanta isn't open to sell Koopmeiners. I know they came out to the media and said that to the world, but if that was 100% the case, that news would have been leaked by 1,000 journalists. He would have been linked to other clubs because he wants to leave. You know, it will be all over the place. That's that. You know, it is strange. I'm not saying here it's 100% happening. I know there is a realistic chance it's definitely not happening. It's the 7th of August, and we actually have not made a real bid. You know, it is what it is. A real bid. So it is a massive problem. This deal cannot be in danger. If you told Thiago Motta, who do you want? Calafiori or Koopmeiners? And he said Koopmeiners, and you're like, good. And then now you're like, forget about Koopmeiners, forget what you had in your mind. You're gonna need to play with two wingers because you're gonna get an extra winger, basically. That's it. Maybe play Douglas Luiz as an attacking midfielder behind Vlahovic or whatever. Figure it out. That is shambolic. It will be shambolic. I don't care what Elkan says. I don't care what everybody says. All the planning is good. We believe in the project, and I'm not saying the project is going to fail, but the planning-wise, it's shambolic. It really would be. So that's why I'm still refusing to believe this to be true. I refuse to believe they are this amateuristic. I refuse to believe that right now. But that's the first bit of weird news. The second bit of weird news is that we agreed terms with 1,000 players, but not with the clubs. It's actually hilarious. The next one is Galeno saying that Galeno has at least 3 offers, but he's waiting for Juve's decision and prioritizing that move. That's from Alfredo Pedula. All the news out there, there's talks with his agent. Nico Schira said there's an agreement with the player on 3 million euros a season, so on, so on. You have reports saying they're willing to accept for 30. You have reports saying they're willing to accept 40. You have reports saying Diallo is going to Porto on loan and that can smoothen the deal. It's all over the place. The point right now is that we agreed terms with another player, but not even close with the club. It's actually crazy. I don't know. Like, it feels like we want all these players, but we can definitely not buy them, and it's kind of keeping the fans alive a little bit. And then at the end, they're like, yeah, we couldn't crack the code, on that deal. That's how it comes across. It comes across as like we really tried, but it didn't really happen. That's how it comes across. Now, I'll give credit to Alfredo Pedula because he's pushing that Galeno train for about a good 3-4 weeks now. He was on that train for at the first one, and everybody was like, huh, who, and now it seems like the club is pushing to bring him in. Now, again, agreement with the player, all good and well. We have agreement with Calafiori, with Todibo, with Koopmeiners, with Galeno, with Adeyemi. We have agreements with I don't know how many players this summer, but if you're not making an offer or not even close to an offer that the club in question wants, then you are just doing whatever. You're just kind of vibing and you're just, I don't know. Like I said, appeasing the fans in terms of like, oh, we're trying, but it's actually not really happening. And again, things can change really quickly. I recorded this video earlier, so it could have changed. But man, if you watch that next gen game, we had 2 first teamers on that bench. Forget about actual goalkeepers. We had 2 first teamers on the bench. That's terrible. Like, to prep a season, I cannot describe how bad that is. The next one, and it is a big update, Romano said that Todibo has told Nice that his plan and his decision is clear. He wants Juve, and there will be new talks. And then Di Marzio came out saying that Juve is now prepared to change the deal. First, it was around the obligation will kick in if we qualify for the Champions League, and Todibo needed to play, I don't know, around 70% of the minutes, basically. Now, the deal is changing towards something else, where the obligation could kick in much sooner, and Nice could be sitting back and be like, okay, it's going to be an obligation because that's the goal, like those goals the club and Todibo is going to reach. Again, it's... I get Giuntoli, and I get it. If the players like, forget West Ham, forget this, I want Juve, then you can use that as leverage. But at one point, you need to sit back and you're like, it's the 6th of August. I need that player in. It's one of the main targets. I need that player in because we cannot go the first 3 games or the 4, 5, 6 games, whatever, to actually prep a player with Danilo, Gatti, and Bremer. I don't want to see that. I've seen it, I don't want to see that, especially not if your coach is like, I need somebody else. And he told them from day one, and you're waiting until the last day, basically, to make it happen. I think Todibo will arrive. I really do. I think we will sign at least one winger, and I still believe we will get Koopmeiners in the end. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get Koopmeiners, and it won't be Galeno, and it will be somebody else, And we actually signed Galeno and Nico Gonzalez, and you're like, Motta, forget what you had in your mind, forget what you actually planned before you actually joined us, what we all talked about. You're going to get 2 wingers instead. That cannot be the case. That's horrible. If you do that the 1st of July and you're with Motta and like, it's not going to happen, we need to switch it up, I can live with that. But if you do that a week and a half before the season kicks off, that's abysmal. You're actually setting that coach up to struggle from the get-go because he's like, okay, now I need to change it up. What do I need to do? And then he's going to tweak things, and it's just messy. It will get messy if you do not hit on your main targets. It really would. I don't care you sign Douglas Luiz and you sign Thuram. I don't really care about that one bit. I really don't. They're good players. I like them. But that was not the plan. That was not the main plan. So you got to make it work. I also don't want to hear, we have Douglas Luiz, we have Thuram, we We have Locatelli, we have Miretti or Fagioli. We don't need him. We do. He was the main target. I don't care. Like, again, you signed Douglas Luiz and Thuram. That could have been extras, but the main target was Koopmeiners. That's what the coach wanted. You cannot turn around and say, actually, we have enough midfielders, and you have Thuram and Douglas Luiz. Good. He's going to say, like these players because I approved them, but you promised me Koopmeiners. That's what I base my idea on. So let's see what's going to happen. But again, Wednesday morning when I'm recording it, evening, whatever, nothing really happened. Nothing really happened. We sold Barbieri and we're close to selling Nicolucci and Frabotta's out on a free with a percentage on the future resale. That's it. It's moving too slow. But let me know in the comments what you think. Like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys again live today with Julian. So stay tuned for that.